Hi everyone, my name is Jessica. I would first like to thank everybody for taking the time out to watch this video. It's greatly appreciated. I'm very excited to be sharing with you the story of the Decatur House. It's a gut-wrenching story, and I mean literally gut-wrenching. So let's get started. The Decatur House was constructed in 1818. It was built for a naval hero, Stephen Decatur, and his wife. The home currently is one of the oldest homes that sits in Washington, D.C. today. It currently serves as a museum that showcases African American history and culture. But what the house really seems to be doing is just distracting its visitors from the house's grim, dark past. Talking a big mirage in front of these people's faces. A very strange thing that happens while you're in the house, a lot of visitors complain that they suffer intense stomach pain. Very, very uncomfortable, nausea, pain, sick to your stomach. People even excuse themselves to go get sick while they're on these tours and while they're in the home. They're looking for furniture, they're looking for walls. They have to hang on to something because they feel like they're going to pass out. So some visitors, if that doesn't happen to them, some visitors, days after leaving the house, they start getting sick. They think, do I have the flu? Do I have food poisoning? What's going on? Not only do they not get better, but they get worse. So much worse, they end up in the hospitalized. They end up in the hospital. So they end up in the hospital and they end up with internal bleeding. Doctors are baffled. They can't find an explanation. They can't find any rhyme or reason behind this. What I think is interesting is something that these visitors have in common, something that they're sharing other than their stomach pain and their sickness in their stomach. They were at the house. Now you might think, a house can't give you a stomach ache. A house can't give you internal bleeding. A house can't make you throw up. Well, what I'm about to tell you might change your mind. So Stephen Decatur suffered in his bedroom an excruciating, agonizing stomach pain for 2 days before finally passing. See, he was shot by Commodore James Barron in his abdomen. You might think, well, why would two U.S. commanders fight, right? They're on the same team. Why would they get into such a duel? But you see, Decatur played a huge role in stripping the Commodore of his titles and his duties. So James Barron, he was the leader of the USS Chesapeake. And when it became under attack by the British in 1807, he offered almost no resistance and surrendered almost immediately. Now you see, the British were looking for US deserters as well. So they took 4 soldiers off the USS Chesapeake, hung one, and sentenced the other to such brutal and severe punishment. Now this looked awful for the young United States. It's embarrassing, but it's even more embarrassing for Barron being the one in charge. So Decatur sat in on the jury on the court-martial that convicted Barron and stripped him of all of his duties and responsibilities for 5 years. This royally makes Barron mad. So bad. So much to the point that in 1820, after years of being just mad and fuming about this, tracks Decatur down at his home and challenges him to a duel. Sadly, Decatur loses, gets shot in the abdomen. That's when he starts the suffering. He's not getting better, he's getting worse. Doctors are trying to sew up his wounds. They made several attempts. They can't stop the bleeding. He's soaking through bed sheets. It's said that he screamed, "I didn't know any man could be in such pain." It's bad, guys. It's really bad. After 2 days of that suffering, he finally gives in to the pain and he passes away. His wife is in such hysteric about it. You can't control her. She's just devastated by this. She actually ends up being sedated. She never fully got over or recovered from the loss of her husband. Now, here's my favorite part of the story. Almost immediately after Decatur dies, you see his ghost. Okay? And you see it in a very specific spot. The front of the house, in the top window. It is seen so much, you guys, they wall it up. They close up the whole window. Can you imagine seeing a ghost so much where you say, that's gotta go. We gotta get rid of this thing. Like, just get rid of it. It's never, nope, it's never even existed. Move it. But that did not stop Decatur. He said, this is my house. I'm not going anywhere. So now you can see Decatur's ghost frequently, but in another spot. You can see him leaving out the back, boots on, pistol in hand. I think, and a lot of others think, that he's waiting. He's waiting for another duel. He's waiting to be re-challenged. He wants to regain his honor. He's waiting to, not lose. He's prepared. He's standing guard. It's sad, but it gave us an amazing story. That house has such an amazing background and culture to it. And Stephen's story lives on. His reputation, people will always talk about Stephen Decatur. So that's my story. I hope you guys liked it.